where things go in the solar system. We can actually predict the motions of the planets and even the asteroids, the small chunks of rock, and even our moon. All of these things are kind of pulling on each other, hugging each other around, and the force of gravity is sweeping everything along. So we know with great certain, 100% certainty, this eclipse is coming, clouds or not.
And so, as the eclipse begins, we speak of first contact, which sounds like an alien encounter, but tell us about first contact.
Yeah, that's the part when that first little bit of moon starts passing in front of the sun, and that's when we start to see the sun's round ball shape start to change, and it looks like somebody starts, taking a little nibble out of it.
A bite, a hungry something in the universe, eating away. This must have been terrifying to the ancients, who so deeply valued what the sun was giving them for their warmth and their crops and everything else. So maybe we should be fortunate we live in a time where science has given us an understanding.
Let's not get crazy. Yesterday, people were saying that there was an earthquake here in the Northeast, and people were saying that it was caused by the eclipse. So the ancients maybe aren't as remote primitive as we think they are.
Or maybe we're not as advanced as we think we are.
Fortunately for us.
Second contact, tell me about that.
Yeah, at that point, well, it's at this point was when things get really exciting, and that's when we really lose all the sunlight from our point of view. And hopefully, if you're in the path of totality, where the shadow of the moon passes right over top of you, then we lose the sun, and it's just gone. And in our case, it's for
brag, but I've seen a couple of eclipses in my day.
Yeah.
And what, for me, the most stunning part of that, just instance before second contact, is where there's a tiny little bit of the sun that is still peeking out from behind the moon, and it looks like a diamond.
Yeah.
And the darker side of the moon is like the
That's my favorite part too. That's my favorite part too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And sometimes they last like 3 or 4 seconds, others 1 or 2 seconds, but it's a very fascinating part of it. And then it fully covers the moon, and then and if you're in full view, you can take off your eye protection. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when the sun is so bright, it can burn your eyes in a split second. So you absolutely cannot look at it without eclipse glasses or a special viewer. But once totality starts and those last rays of the sun, that little beautiful flash of sparkly light, once that's gone, you actually can take off your viewer, take off your glasses, and you can look right at the sun during totality, and just during totality only. And it's pretty weird. I got to say, I thought it was very weird in 2017. It looks like a hole in the sky. It's so strange.
It's spooky, actually. And so, and also, whether you're under clouds or not, during totality, it's dark. It's dark. It is dark. Yeah. So let's move on to outside. You study space weather, but before we get to that, if you look at the sun in the partial phases with eye protection, you can see sunspots. So what are these sunspots telling us? And by the way, that's my favorite name of anything. We looked at the sun, we found spots, we call them
blemishes. They are blemishes. And we actually call them solar pimples. So I don't think outside calls them that. So what's going on with sunspots?
So sunspots are actually a little bit of a cooler area on the sun. And the reason why it's cooler, why these spots are cooler, is because it's very magnetically active. And that's where we're watching. NOAA watches the sun 24/7, 365 days a year. We're looking at the sun now today, but we watch it all the time. And the reason is because we're watching for these sunspots, because they can become active and they can erupt into solar flares. They can send particles out towards the Earth, or they can have these really big eruptions called coronal mass ejections, which are these huge magnetic bubbles that erupt off the sun, and they are billions of tons of matter that can hurtle towards Earth at millions of miles per hour. It's really amazing. And
that's scary, not amazing.
It's both amazing and scary, like lots of natural phenomena are.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I ask you, I learned from Neil eclipse and you have the little ring around it where you can see the corona of the sun, that's an annular eclipse.
No. So let's get back to Amy for a second.
Yeah.
What's an annular eclipse? Okay.
Okay, so it turns out the moon is not always the same distance from us. It gets a little closer, sometimes it gets a little further away. And if the moon is just a little bit further away, when it passes in front of the sun, it doesn't fully block it out. Not quite. And so you get this little ring. Sometimes you call it the ring of fire eclipse, which sounds very exciting, you know. But
Okay, so now when the moon fully covers the sun, now you see a different part of the sun outside.
Yeah.
What do you call that part of the sun?
What you see is what's called a corona, which is Latin for crown, because it looks like a crown. It's got these wispy spikes all around it. And that's really what we're looking at.
Relation to the coronavirus.
No relation to the coronavirus. No, absolutely not. And what we're looking at is the outer atmosphere of the sun. And that's where a lot of these space weather, the big space weather events originate. And so we really want to look at that and characterize that as much as possible all the time. And so the total eclipse.
Will we be able to see that when we're looking at totality? Will we be able to see some of that activity? Hopefully, if we have clear skies during totality, you'll be able to see the wispy outer atmosphere of the sun. Now, whether we have, that's always there. Whether we have space weather events like extreme space weather events, we're not necessarily going to have that today. The sun, where the sunspots are kind of on the back of the sun and towards a little bit of the limb. So we're not expecting to see big explosions today off the sun, but we're hoping to see the clouds are clearing up. It's all of a sudden a lot bit more sunny right now, and hoping to be able to see the corona. But either way, we're going to experience totality.
Well, Elsie, why should we care? Why do you care about space weather at all? The civilization is just fine without you. Okay, for thousands of years. Now you're telling us all of this. How does that affect us?
Well, we care about space weather now because we have such a technologically advanced society. You know, we fly on planes, we use GPS navigation, we fly satellites, and we have an extensive power grid. All of those are vulnerable to space weather. So space weather is not like regular terrestrial weather where you can see the hurricanes, see the tornadoes, and see the effects right there. Space weather is...
You put up an umbrella. Yeah.
Yeah, you put up an umbrella. You can mitigate against it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can we go back to the planes for a second?
Airplane.
I was okay with the satellites and I was okay with the disruption of technology. But when you said planes, you got my attention. Are we in danger from the sun when we're flying in the sky?
So airlines routinely reroute planes from polar routes because of space weather. So the Space Weather Prediction Center at NOAA is in constant contact with civil aviation airlines, and they divert planes from the polar regions because there's more dosage from radiation at those high latitudes, and as well as they lose some communication capabilities and navigation capabilities at those high latitudes. So this is something that you're safe.
Yeah,
Airlines are.
I'm safe if El Saeed does his job.
If NOAA is doing its job, warning the airlines when we have space weather events. Yes, absolutely.
So now, Amy, you're PI, principal investigator of a satellite that's checking for asteroids that could hit Earth.
yes,
And
that's right. Yeah.
That's in orbit around the Earth, safe outside the atmosphere, I would think. But apparently, when the sun gets active, it affects your satellite. How does that work?
Yeah. So we have a satellite that's watching for asteroids and comets that get close to the Earth, and we're going round and round the Earth in the Earth's atmosphere. And you'd think, oh, we're high enough up that there's not much air left. It's not a problem. Well, this satellite's pretty old now, and it's starting to come down a little bit. And what's happening is as the sun is starting to wake up, the sun's kind of been asleep almost for a few years now, but it's starting to wake up and it's starting to throw out these kind of like rubber bands. It's like the sun shoots rubber bands, and it makes the Earth's atmosphere kind of puff up a little. And so that's slowly pulling
Pumping
satellites.
energy into our atmosphere.
Yeah.
Heats it, and so it pops up. Then what? So what?
Well, it starts to pull on the satellites. And so Chuck may not worry about satellites, but I do. And so I'm with you on the planes too, but I'm also with satellites.
El Sayed has to make sure, apparently he doesn't have power over the sun yet, but he can alert you when your satellite is at risk, because you're trying to protect us from killer asteroids, and El Sayed is trying to protect us from killer radiation from the sun. So you are two of the most important people on Earth right now.
Absolutely. And also what I learned from this whole exchange is the sun is trying to kill us.
That sun is, well, luckily, I've been saving this pun up, okay, you guys, so bear with me. Every day at NOAA is Sunday.
Yes.
Sorry. I had to do it.
Okay. Okay, I got another one for you. You ready? I got another one. So I'm told that NASA wants to visit the sun with a mission. They want to send astronauts, but the only way to do that safely is to go at night.
I don't
That's an
think
old
it
one.
works that way.
So tell me, so this cycle, how long is the sun cycle, El Sayed?
So it's roughly 11 years. It goes through a period of peak activity, then it quiets down, and then it starts up again 11 years later. And right now, we're approaching that peak activity time called solar maximum. So we expect solar maximum of the sun in 2025, and that's why we've been seeing more flares, more activity on the sun, and actually, when it reaches solar maximum, it's not the most active time. The biggest storms happen after solar maximum, several years after solar maximum. So we have to be ever vigilant, watching the sun and making sure that we are able to run the models that provide these warnings and forecasts.
So in the next couple of years, we're going to go Artemis 2, sending astronauts to the moon. They'll be outside of our protective blanket of our magnetic field for many, many days. Are you on the phone with them, telling them to duck?
Right.
What's your relationship? You come from NOAA. What's your relationship with NASA for our astronauts that we want to keep safe?
We absolutely work very closely with NASA for the astronaut safety, and we've been doing that since they started exploration.
But what do you what happens? So if it's coming, do you tell them duck? Like, what are they going to do? Like, what's the backup plan?
So this is why we watch the sun.
Of radiation showers.
This is why we watch the sun constantly, because we look at these active regions and be able to warn if they're getting more active and they're about to erupt. And so when an eruption happens, we notify our stakeholders, including NASA, as well as our national security agencies, what to do. And then they have procedures to bring the astronauts to safety, take mitigative actions, etc. So this is something that we are constantly in contact with during space missions and also launches. You don't want to launch during a solar storm. And so,
if I remember your bio, you actually worked at NASA in their space weather division. Isn't that correct? In an earlier life?
Yes, I worked in the heliophysics division at NASA, which is heliophysics is really the science of space behind space weather, the science of the sun and everything it touches. And that was a great foundation for when I went to NOAA, because now I get to apply that science to the operations and particularly making the observations and that feed into the operations that can protect life and property.
And so tell us, just give us a brief minute about NOAA itself, because we've all heard of NASA. NASA gets all the publicity, and NOAA is just back there somewhere, but its job is so important. Just briefly, like we only have a couple of minutes left, just remind people what NOAA does and what it stands for even, because that's an acronym.
Yeah. NOAA is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and it provides environmental intelligence and for that feed into all the weather forecasts. And we fly satellites that look at the Earth as well as space weather and the sun. We also run fisheries. We run policy for fisheries. We know NOAA from fisheries environmental information. We know NOAA from collecting all the data for climate and weather, from a yearly to seasonal to decadal information that we need to understand.
So you stitch all that together, because in your name is ocean and atmosphere.
The ocean and
so you
atmosphere.
got them both. Yeah. So you got them both. So everything is connected in ways that we had not previously imagined before you guys put yourself on the map.
That's a great point because it is a really interconnected system. The ocean helps drive the atmosphere drives the upper atmosphere, space weather comes in and also drives the upper atmosphere. It's all very interconnected, and how we understand that is part of the job we have at NOAA.
I'm just glad we got you on the job there. Yes. And Amy, you're not only like a space professional, you're also bringing the universe down to Earth as you're host of Ready Jet Go for PBS. What's that about?
Yeah, we've got a kids show that talks about space and earth science, and in fact, we are about to deliver a show from our TV show to all of you live here in Dallas, so it's pretty exciting.
Those kids could one day grow up and save the world just like the two of you are doing.
Exactly. I think that they will, actually. I believe they will.
Okay, well, as we say at the end of our Star Talk episode, as always, this is Chuck Nice, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Keep looking up.
Keep looking up.
Thank you. Chuck, Neil, this is Rick Spinrad. I hope you have great weather in Vermont. Thank you all. Amy, El Sayed, what a great discussion. This has been so eye-opening. I'm not sure we've heard this much about the space weather and how it impacts here on Earth. It's so good that we can actually connect from Texas to Vermont on this amazing celestial event as it crosses the country. So many Americans are taking time out to learn more about space and space weather and celebrating the beauty and wonder of our natural world. Look at that, you're making it happen. You gotta scream louder to make it happen. There you go. And now, we have a very special treat in store for you. Many of you are likely familiar with the hit PBS Kids series, Ready, Jet, Go, where we follow the adventures of Jet Propulsion, an alien from the planet Bortron 7, and his human friends as they explore the wonders of our solar system and beyond. Well, today we are thrilled to welcome, as part of the team, we're bringing on Kiana McFadden to join us here today with Amy and El Sayed. They're going to guide us through the eclipse. They're going to share some fascinating facts about the sun and the moon and help us gain a deeper appreciation for the incredible universe we live in. All right, you've got a challenge. The louder you yell, the better the welcoming for Amy, El Sayed, and Kiana as well, our friends from Ready, Jet, Go, and the better we're going to get clear skies. So welcome them right now, please.
Yeah!
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dallas. Woo! All right. So look at that. Look at that. Woo! We got sun. We got sun. We got sun. Come on. All right. Woo! All right, everybody. So we have a very special treat for you. We've been collecting questions, but first, I think we need to do a little chant. What do you think, Kiana? What do you think, El Sayed? Should we do it? Okay, we really need your help. We need everybody's help right now. You can see it's clearing, but we need your help. Everybody over here, I need you to say, "Go away, clouds."
Go away, clouds.
And everybody here, I need you to say, "Come on, sun."
All right, ready?
Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Go away, clouds.
Come on, sun.
Go away, clouds.
Come on, sun.
Go away, clouds.
Come on,
I
sun.
think it's working. Yeah.
Woo!
There it is. All right. Okay, if we can just keep that energy up, we might just get lucky here and those clouds will stay away from us. All right, so we have some questions.
Yes. We have some wonderful questions from some of you. So we'll get started. Janila, who's a 13-year-old from St. Anthony School. Let's make some noise for Janila. She has a question. How do scientists predict when eclipses will happen?
Oh, that is a fantastic question. Should we talk about that? What
Yeah,
do you
let's
think?
talk about it.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Kiana? How do we know?
Well, we have really great expert equipment that tracks when the sun will come around or the moon comes around, and we can predict and track those and how they will align.
Yes, and in fact, the Apollo astronauts more than 50 years ago, they actually left little shiny mirrors on the moon, and we can actually track those, and that tells us very precisely how far away the moon is. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, we know where the moon is going to be, where the sun is going to be, and where the earth is going to be, obviously. So the science that we do, the mechanics is called orbital mechanics, and that tracks the motion of all these bodies. And so we can predict where they're going to be and when they're going to be in alignment, such that we have partial eclipses, an annular eclipse, and today, hopefully, the total eclipse.
Woo!
I don't know, Kiana, what do you think? Do you want to be an orbital mechanic someday? I think I'd like to be an orbital mechanic.
That sounds really fancy. I really like that.
I like that, right? Orbital mechanic. Okay, so that's somebody who can predict where the moon, the earth, the planets, and our spacecraft go with incredible pinpoint precision. I think we need to be orbital mechanics.
I think so. I think so.
Okay, what do we got next?
So our next question is from Adrian, who's a 6th grader. Let's give some noise to Adrian. So the question is, if the moon reflects the light of the sun, why isn't the moonlight as strong as the sunlight?
Ooh, that's
That's a
tough.
good
That's
question.
tough. Okay, what do we think? Well, let's see. So that is true. The sun is shining because of why, El Sayed?
Because it's a huge burning ball of gas.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay, but the moon isn't like that. The moon is basically a whole bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
And it is not a giant ball of burning gas. It's just a bunch of rocks.
Exactly.
But what happens when those rocks get hit by the sunlight?
The light can either be absorbed or reflected based on how bright that dust is on the moon. And we call that dust regolith.
Oh, regolith.
Regolith.
Whoa.
It's just a
that's-
fancy term for fine dust.
I like it. I like it. So that fine dust, that regolith, is not as shiny as a mirror, right?
Right.
In fact, it's kind of dusty and dark. Is that right?
It is dark. It doesn't reflect as much as a mirror would.
So that's why the moon, when it is reflecting the sun, it doesn't look as bright as the sun.
Exactly.
That dusty, dark dust. Okay, got it. What else we got?
Our next question is from Zariah, who's a 4th grader from St. Anthony School.
Zariah!
Where's Zariah?
Woo! She has a question. Would the sun ever explode?
Oh, that's
I love
a
that.
fun
Okay.
question.
What do you think?
Oh.
Yeah, not today. Not today, son.
Yeah, not today, and really, we don't think the sun is going to explode. What's going to happen is going to expand.
Whoa.
It's going to expand very, very far into what we call a red giant. And so, but that's going to happen, in billions and billions of years from now. We don't have to worry about it today, and we don't have to worry about it for a very, very long time.
That's a really good thing, El Sayed, because I don't think I like the sound of sun is a red giant.
Yes.
How
'cause,
big is a red giant?
Oh,
it'll probably eat up much of the solar system.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I think when the sun gets that big, it'll actually go out past the Earth. It might even swallow up the Earth. But it's like billions of years from now. So
Billions.
fortunately, not today, not tomorrow, and not anytime soon.
Anytime
Yes.
soon.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Well, we have another question from Zayana, who's in 4th grade from St. Anthony School. Let's give a shout out to her.
Zayana!
Will the earth shake when the eclipse happens? Ooh.
What do you think, Kiana?
No.
That's right. No.
We'll just see it like a nice dark hole in the sky where the sun is supposed to be. But we'll be perfectly still. Perfectly still.
Yeah.
Unless you want to jump up and down because you're so in awe of what
That's
you're
true.
seeing.
Maybe we'll jump up and down enough that will cause the earthquake. But
Yeah.
Not the sun. That's a good question.
That is
All
a good
right.
question.
Next question from Langston in 4th grade. Let's give it up for Langston.
Langston!
Langston!
His question is, well, how does a lunar eclipse happen?
Well, just like a solar eclipse is when the moon gets in between the Earth and the sun. A lunar eclipse is when the moon is behind the Earth, and so you don't get that reflection off the sun, and so that's what a lunar eclipse is.
Yeah, it's kind of like the twin of the solar eclipse almost. It's like a little bit of a twin of it, you know.
These are some wonderful questions.
These are awesome questions.
Yes.
Give yourselves a hand for these great questions.
Future orbital mechanics.
Yes, you guys are going to be orbital mechanics someday.
Yeah. I have a fun one for you from Charity in 5th grade. Let's give it up for Charity.
Yeah.
Charity.
Charity.
So how does NASA make spacesuits?
Ooh, okay, well, let's see. Now, NASA we need spacesuits, of course.
Yes.
If we're going to go in space, because what does space not have?
Atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere, nothing to breathe, and we want protection from all those other things, you know. So we want to be able to keep the air in and keep outer space out. So yeah, they basically have to make a sealed suit that keeps the air trapped in and make sure the temperature's comfy.
Yes.
And so how do you do that? Well, you got to work really hard to make sure your spacesuit is 100% sealed up, so you don't lose any of that nice warm air.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the answer is carefully.
Yes.
Carefully.
Very carefully. All right, our next question is from Kenya. Let's give it up for Kenya, who's in 4th grade.
Kenya.
How does the eclipse affect the Earth?
How does? Can you repeat the question?
How does the eclipse affect the Earth?
Well, when an eclipse happens, it's going to actually get cooler here. Right now, I'm feeling a little bit warm.
Yeah.
I'm sweating because the sun is out. Yeah!
Yes, son!
But when eclipse happens, that's blocking the light of the sun, and it's going to drop a few degrees of temperature here, and it's going to affect the upper atmosphere, and the birds and animals are going to get quiet. Have you heard about that? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess the birds, everybody gets confused.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know what time it is because they think it's nighttime in the middle of the day. It's really weird.
It is weird.
But it's going to get
weird.
cold, I think. Yeah.
Cold.
It's pretty hot up here now.
Let's keep it hot. Let's
We
keep it hot.
appreciate the sun. So Rory, age 10, asked, what kind of eclipse is the darkest?
Ooh, what do you think about that, Kiana?
Well, it is the total solar eclipse that we will see today.
Woo!
Good question.
Yeah, the total solar eclipse is when that moon shadow completely blocks out the sun, but you cannot have, you can get a partial, right?
Yeah, you can get a
And
partial.
that's where the sun is just only partly blocked out by the moon. Or you can even get one where the moon is sort of just in front of it, but not quite close enough to totally block it out. And that is called an annular, a ring. A ring.
That ring of fire you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's really magical too. It's really great to see.
Have you seen one?
I did last year. I saw the ring of fire. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, we're going to do better. We're going to have a total eclipse now.
Total. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Well, Riley from 6th grade, let's give it up for Riley from St. Anthony.
Riley.
Riley! Woo!
So during the solar eclipse, does the moon get hot?
Ooh. What do you think? Does the moon get hot?
Does the moon get hot? Well, that goes back to our earlier question about how reflective the surface of the moon is.
Yeah, that's right.
It will heat up.
It will heat up. Yeah, the side of the moon that's facing the sun is going to get pretty toasty up there. So, yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's going to get hot on that side of the moon facing the sun.
Right, but the dark side will be cool.
Yeah, the
Cooler.
side facing us is going to be cool off a little.
All right, ready for our next question?
Yes.
This is from Nylan, 4th grader from St. Anthony. Woo!
Yeah.
Why do scientists use equipment?
Ooh, what do you think, Silas?
We use equipment because to get closer, like telescopes, to get closer to what we're looking at, whether it's the sun or planets or asteroids. And we have to sometimes fly it outside on satellites to get even closer and get a better view. Because we're looking at maybe different types of light that are blocked by our atmosphere. And we go outside the atmosphere to look at that light. And so when you saw the pictures of the angry sun, that's not looking in visible light, the light that we see the sun in. but it's in a higher energy light called ultraviolet light. So those are the type of instruments and telescopes that we might use to look at the sun, look at the moon, or planets and asteroids.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
You know, actually, Kiana loves to observe asteroids in a different way.
I
from
love
light.
asteroids. They're my favorite.
Yeah, we look at lots of different wavelengths of light that our eyes can't see.
Exactly.
So all the way from ultraviolet to even longer wavelengths.
Infrared. What are your favorite instruments to use as scientists?
I love them all. But
You love
yes,
them
definitely solar telescopes. We're flying a coronagraph,
Ooh.
which is an artificial total eclipse every 30 minutes. We're going to fly that on a satellite this year.
That's awesome.
And so that we can get a total eclipse picture and look at the outer atmosphere of the sun continuously.
That makes sense, because we love total eclipses so much, you wouldn't want to be able to have one every 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of total eclipses, Roderick, age 12. Let's give it up for Roderick. Woo!
Roger.
If you take off your eclipse glasses, how bad will the sun hurt your eyes?
Really bad.
Really
Really,
bad.
really bad.
Really
Don't
bad.
look at the sun without your eclipse glasses, because guess what? You can burn your eyes to be permanently blind in a split second. It can happen really fast, so don't ever do it. No, no, no. That one's easy. What do you think else I had? Anything else about that?
Absolutely don't do it. Don't do it. We will tell you the only time you can take off the glasses is during when the total eclipse itself. So what we call totality. And we will tell you when it's safe, and we'll tell you when you would put it back on. But otherwise, do not take off your eclipse glasses if you're looking at the sun.
Yeah, use your special glasses all the time until we tell you it is 100% safe.
Safety
Okay,
first.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
Zaria, age 11. Let's give it up for Zaria. Woo!
Zaria!
Do eclipses happen only in certain parts of the world?
Well, what do you think?
I think not. Well, they happen at different places where the moon's shadow will block the sun. It can be random sometimes.
Yeah, it can happen pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
In fact, we've seen them all over the place in different parts of the world, right? You can see the paths coming
Yeah.
across, and there are very good predictions from our orbital mechanics.
Yes.
We know where they're going to go, and they're all over.
All over.
What was the last one? The last total eclipse? Where was it?
Well, let's see. Well, in the United States, here there was a big one in 2017.
Yep.
But this one that we're about to experience is the last one in the United States for a long time.
20 years. That's a long time.
Yeah,
So it's great that we're out here.
Woo!
Yes.
And thank you, son.
Thank you,
son. Madison, age 12. Let's give it up for Madison.
Madison!
What year was the very first total solar eclipse? Little history lesson.
A little bit of history. Solar system history. Kiana, when would the first solar eclipse happen?
It would have happened when the moon was fully formed. Because to have a solar eclipse, you need the what? The sun, the earth, and the moon.
Okay, so as soon as we get a moon, we get eclipses.
Exactly.
Oh, and when did that happen? Well, let's see. Our moon is really old. I mean, you might think, some of us are old, but, the moon is really, really old.
Billions.
How old is it?
It's about 4
Billion years old.
So
Wow.
pretty much as soon as we got a moon, solar eclipses.
Exactly.
Well, it's really good. I think we're getting close. What do you think? It's starting to get pretty sunny.
I think our chance worked.
Do you think we need another chance?
I think we
do
need another chance.
We do need a chance. Yes.
Okay. All right. Here we go, everybody. All right, over here. Come on, sun. Go
Away, clouds.
Come on, sun.
Go away, clouds.
Come on, sun.
Go away, clouds.
Come on, sun.
Go away, clouds.
Come on, sun.
Go away, clouds.
I think it's working.
I
It's
think
working.
so too.
Keep it up.
All right, folks. We are almost there. We got time for maybe one more question or two more questions? What do you think? Are you ready?
I think
I
maybe
think they're ready.
I think we're ready.
All right.
All right,
Right.
good job. Hey, Amy, how about we get this group We just gave you guys fans. Can we see your fans?
Woo!
Louder! Fans, come on. That's blowing away the clouds.
I need 2 of them.
More.
Yes.
All right, we're going to thank our wonderful guests on the stage, and we're going to get ready for Ready, Check, Go.
Yeah!
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Elsiot, and thank you, Kiana. All right, we'll see you soon.
All right.
Loved ones after you're gone with a guaranteed acceptance life insurance policy from United of Omaha today. Benefits can be paid within 24 hours and can be used to pay funeral costs, outstanding medical bills, credit card debt, or more.
Ready, jet, go!
Jet propulsion, that's his name. Jet propulsion, he'll rocket to fame. When he arrived, he created a buzz, 'cause there was no house, and then there was. He said,
People of Earth, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm from 4 John 7, and my name is Jet.
Jet propulsion, that's his name. He looks like us, but he isn't the same.
I'm a space tripper and a galaxy crosser. My parents brought me here in a flying saucer.
And just to prove it was a fact, he flew them up to space and back.
With jet propulsion,
Ready, jet, go!
he showed up, and now it's a blast. Looks like the future really got here fast.
Nice to meet you, human race. Tell me all about the place. Jet propulsion. Jet propulsion. Jet propulsion. Ready, jet, go!
want to see all of you with your fans. Stand up and wave your fans with Ready, Jet, Go. Woo! All right. We are so excited to be here in the beautiful Cotton Bowl to celebrate the total solar eclipse. It's beginning at 12:23 this afternoon and ending with about 4 minutes of totality. All of us are here from Ready, Jet, Go. This is an astronomy and earth science series airing on PBS and 120 countries around the world, and here in Dallas on KERA. But our show's not just for kids. It is for the whole family. We have songs by the Ready, Jet, Go band, clips from our animated show, opportunities for you to stand up and dance, and lots of opportunities to take photos with us, quiz shows, lots of cool insight about the amazing total solar eclipse we're about to see. Now, everyone get ready, get your hands ready, because I need you to do a really big, warm welcome to some of our crew here. We're going to start out with our series creator and lead singer, Craig Bartlett. Put it together for Craig. Woo! You recognize his voice because you just heard it on that main title you just saw. Now, next up, I want to bring up our series composer and band leader, Jim Lang. Put it together for Jim. And also behind Jim is the entire Ready, Jet, Go band and the amazing Natasha Klein. Now, when the band plays and we start singing, you can find lyrics on your phone and other fun links at readyjetgodallas.com. Now, to guide you through this amazing day, please welcome to the stage astronomer Amy Meinzer. And if she looks familiar, you've seen her on every Ready, Jet, Go episode on PBS. Now, all of us are so excited to be here in Dallas. Can we hear it for Dallas? Woo! But also to be in Texas. So we're going to start out with a song from Ready, Jet, Go, especially for this beautiful state, and it's called Lone Star. Take it away, Craig and Jim and Natasha.
Lone Star, I love staring at infinity. The genius of the dimmest star still ain't far enough for me. Lone Star, I love the music of the midnight sky. In the quiet I hear the star calling to me from on high, saying, Lone Star, Lone Star. Well, I'm hunting for distant galaxies I can only find at night with the telescope way up a mountain.
News teams, they are deployed to bring us that unprecedented view. They're stationed, there we go. That is our image coming back in from Kerrville, Texas. So they are there watching what you are seeing right now on your screen. And then they're going to be seeing that same image repeat itself in Niagara Falls, New York. Millions of people all across the path trying to experience the magic of it all in person. Our national correspondent, John Moan, joins us live now. He is outside San Antonio. That is Kerrville, Texas. John, I'm assuming in a second it's about to get kind of dark where you are.
We're about an hour from that, actually, Del. So we're seeing the beginning, that the show is starting, if you will. And at times, we've got cloud cover right now, but with the glasses, I was able to see the eclipse starting, and it right now looks like a bite out of a wafer, or maybe like, you know, a Pac-Man before, you know, he expires after getting gobbled by a ghost. So we're at that point. We're at the beginning of this. We are certainly hoping that we get a break in the clouds so we can get those great pictures and that we can all witness this. And I'm sure the crowd here is hoping very much the same thing, because thousands of people have converged on this small hill country town here in central South Texas called Kerrville. No more than 25,000 people. They were expecting more than 3 times the size of the town to show up here, just because we were really in the centrality of totality. And we'll get about 4 minutes and 25 seconds of darkness as we enter that moment about an hour from now. Del?
So, John, we are looking right now. That is the NASA cam right now that shows us the clouds moving in and out. It is going to be a sporadic event where you are in Kerrville. I know that people are going to be looking up. Is there a chance, and I guess the question I'm asking is, are you seeing what we're seeing, which is that in one moment you see the clouds move in and you can't see anything, and then the next moment you see that Pac-Man? Is that what you're seeing on the ground?
Yeah. Again, we've got a monitor and a camera shot up, and then at times if I'm able to see it, it's covered right now, but you know, hopefully those clouds are moving rapidly and maybe we get a clean picture for a minute or two. I think people are going to obviously be thankful for what they can get, because the probability of cloud cover was fairly high. The forecast was fairly realistic. At least, though, we're not getting extreme weather here farther northeast from us in Burnett County. Organizers of a similar event felt compelled to cancel it because there was a risk of hail, thunderstorms, and high winds. So we've got relative calm here, except for the cloud cover, and hopefully the crowd is assuaged, is satisfied with what they can see, and we're hoping to see something.
Hey, John, we're all like kids in a candy store right now as we watch these images. John Moan for us on the ground in Kerrville, Texas. Want to go now to Clay Lepard, who is with Scripps News Cleveland. He is at the Great Lakes Science Center. Clay, you can see what they're seeing on the ground right now in Texas. It is coming your way.
Del, and people are getting excited here at the Great Lakes Science Center for their Eclipse Festival right here in downtown Cleveland. Just to give you perspective, we've got the Cleveland Browns Stadium right here, and then right next to us on this side, we've got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But all eyes will be looking up in just a little bit. Cleveland right in line with that path of totality, meaning the moon's shadow set to completely cover the sun from about 3:13 to 3:17 here on the East Coast. Nearly 4 minutes of totality. In fact, Cleveland is home to the only NASA center in the path of totality, which means a lot of big names in space are here at this festival. The NASA administrator, several astronauts, all giving people a chance to learn about the science behind the solar eclipse, how to view it safely, and also learn what we can learn scientifically from events like this. And as a result, we are seeing people come in from far and wide. Weather-wise, it could not be better here for Northeast Ohio. These past several days, we have seen rain, we have seen snow, and now today, when we woke up, there was overcast with rain. But right now, it is clear skies, a little bit of clouds. Could not be better. And for Northeast Ohio, we have been preparing for this for years now, expecting to see several 100,000 people make their way from Lake Erie in downtown Cleveland all the way across the state of Ohio. In fact, we're seeing a lot of streets closed downtown here, and even many of the school districts in that line of totality took the day off, Del.
And Clay, before I let you go, forget about all the NASA administrators. I understand that Cleveland is going to rock in the eclipse. Is that true?
Oh man, you know, it has been such excitement surrounding this eclipse and everything. Again, truly, look at this. We have thousands of people who have come in. I was talking to people from Virginia, from New Jersey, from Washington State, from Florida, all coming and saying Cleveland is where they wanted to be with this view of the lake and coincidentally, some really good weather too.
Red states, blue states don't matter when it is an eclipse. Clay Lepard in Cleveland, Ohio for us. Clay, thank you very much. I want to go right now to Andrew Rowan with Scripps News Cincinnati. He is live in Batesville, Indiana. What are you seeing right now, Andrew?
We're seeing the beginning of really a party, Del. People have been here. The first person got here around 7:15. If we sort of take a wider look, it's more like a tailgate or a cookout, but this is an eclipse gate. And like an eclipse gate, you of course need to have some telescopes. So these are from the folks from Sidewalk Science Center. They came all the way from Sarasota, Florida, set up a wide range of telescopes with solar lenses on them so people can essentially look through the entire phases of this eclipse. And similarly in this area, a lot of schools took the day off. So you've got a lot of kids out here and a lot of people really from all over both the country and the world. We spoke with someone earlier who came in from London. That being said, too, they have originally had plans to go to Dallas, Texas. They saw some of the clouds in that forecast, and they said, you know what, let's make it to Batesville, Indiana. And so that is part of a larger sort of atmosphere here. The businesses, too, are getting involved. I'm wearing a T-shirt from one of the businesses around here, Total Solar Eclipse. Don't stare into the sun, of course. You got to have your glasses. From donuts to special Path of Totality beers. Really, everyone is getting involved and just trying to make the day out of this, Del.
I wasn't going to say anything about your T-shirt, but since you did mention the fact that you bought your T-shirt, I've already heard from Scripps News Corporate saying you cannot write it off on your expenses. But also, before I let you go, it appears that with regards to telescopes, size might matter.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got some different lenses here. Some are closer than others. You know, a lot of people from the Sidewalk Science Center here say they really are going to wait for that moment in totality to see some of the beads that are coming off the sun and really some of those solar flares. And depending on how close you are, you're going to see some really detailed shots. Similarly, you've got people out here with really high resolution cameras and really long lenses so they can capture some of those images. They have been camped out here since we got here around 8 o'clock, and they have been out here about the same time as us, and the countdown is on. They are telling us they are just waiting and waiting, and I guess until the eclipse starts, we've got about 20 or 30 minutes to go, and I'm excited. I know a lot of people else.
Andrew Rowan, who has the T-shirt that says, I went to the great eclipse of 2024, and all I got was this T-shirt. Andrew, thank you very much. A reminder, the image that you're seeing right now on the right-hand side of your screen, actually it's on the left-hand side of your screen right now, that is the image that is coming in from NASA. That is what they are seeing with their special telescopes. If you are part of the crowd gathered, for instance, right now at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway or where Andrew was just moments ago, don't worry, you are not missing it. We are tracking the path of the solar eclipse. It is going to hit different parts of the country at different parts of the day, and Scripps News will be on the scene to take you there ever since it all began just a short while ago as the sun and the moon aligned over the skies of Mexico first, now making their way across the southern U.S. Stay with us. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Home. It's everything. It's friends, family, it's community, and just knowing where everything is. More than 1 million homeowners have already used a reverse mortgage to stay in the comfort and security of their family home for as long as they want. And the best part? There's no monthly payments, and it's tax-free. Call now to find out what you can get and the many ways you can use your reverse mortgage money. If you're over 60 and own your home, Call now to speak with a licensed reverse mortgage agent and find out if you qualify now. Call 1-800-431-1181. That's 1-800-431-1181. And for most older homeowners, their home's equity is their single biggest asset. Why not turn that investment you've been sitting on for years into tax-free cash right now so you can pay off your existing mortgage, pay bills, credit cards, and medical care, even renovate or update the house. Maybe get that something special. If you're over 60 and own your home, live in the home as long as you want. Get the information you need to qualify and get the tax-free cash you deserve. Call 1-800-431-1181. A reverse mortgage is just a loan, like any other, and was created just for times like these, so older Americans had a way to cover rising costs and keep their retirement just the way it is. Pay off as much as you like, when you like, or in one lump sum when you leave the home. It's that simple. Unlock your home's equity using a reverse mortgage to get the cash you need and stay in the home you love. Call 1-800-431-1181. That's 1-800-431-1181. Getting tax-free cash has never been easier. Don't miss out. Find out how much tax-free cash you may qualify for. Call 1-800-431-1181. That's 1-800-431-1181.
Rated the best hearing aids of 2023 by Forbes, the Audien Atom 2 series offers superior sound quality and functionality for a fraction of the price. For just $189 a pair, the Atom 2 features 4 different hearing modes for all types of hearing loss. It packs crystal clear sound, a nearly invisible design, and is even rechargeable.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids. They're so comfortable, I forget I'm wearing them. And the sound is amazing.
The Atom Pro 2 is our smallest hearing aid yet, featuring advanced background noise cancellation and is the world's first hearing aid with built-in UV cleaning that kills 99% of bacteria.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed without seeing a doctor or having a hearing test.
Join over 500,000 happy customers today and get the hearing you deserve.
Call 1-800-266-5809 or go to audienhearing.com to get your pair of Audien hearing aids starting at just $189.
We are on the scene right now watching the eclipse as it unfolds, tracking its path from south to north. The scene on your left there is a NASA image coming out of Mexico. The scene on your right, that is Mazatlan in Mexico. As you can see, they are gathered there looking to see what exactly you are seeing on your left that not everyone is going to be lucky enough to see as the eclipse tracks north. Scotty Withers joins us now. And Scotty, we're geeking out. We should let the audience know whether you are a geek or in my case, an African-American nerd or a blurred. This has been a lot of fun already.
I just fixated on these images, especially the ones we're getting there from NASA. You could actually see some of that corona. You could see the solar plasma around the sun. It is fantastic. This is what it's all about. Fortunately, for a large part of the country on this path of totality, we're going to have some clouds and we're going to have some severe weather immediately afterwards. Look at that right there in Mazatlan. That looks absolutely fantastic. Just not too much further until we get to totality there. All right, want to show you the path. Here it is. You can see it starting down there in Mexico, right on the border, about 1:30 Central Time, 2:30 Eastern. That's when it's going to cross in the U.S. Then it's going to make its path all the way up to Maine around 3:30 Eastern Time. That's the path of totality. That's where you should be able to see that ring of fire, and that's the big takeaway today. Now, if you're outside the ring of fire, if you're outside that path, you can still see this thing. Get on out there, get ready for it. For anywhere from Miami all the way up to central Idaho, you're going to be able to see different perspectives of that. You can also watch it right here on Scripps News too. Now, unfortunately, it's not all that. The weather also going to play a role in this. You can see Texas cleared up a little bit. We got a lot less cloud cover than earlier today. From Little Rock up to Cleveland, you're in the good. New York, it is not clearing up. This is just staying there. And then New England, you're okay. So again, if you're in Texas, it is going to be spotty. It really is. But then from Little Rock, you've got a clear view all the way up to Cleveland. It's not going to, you're not going to see much in parts of New York, and then you're going to be okay all the way up there. And part of it also, here's our key cities. You can see the weather forecast. That's the problem, San Antonio. We got the severe weather that's going to move in. That's why at least one event's already been canceled. You can see the clouds throughout and some rain there in Cleveland as well. Want to show you why this is all happening here. We've got this energy that is coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, and you can see those storms just firing up over central and north Texas. That's going to last all the way through tomorrow, and that's where we could see those tornadoes and hail the size of softballs. That's why they've closed some of those events and sent people home. And then, of course, after this is over, people have got to drive through that, so that is going to be very dangerous tonight. You need to be careful. There's our severe weather event. 30 million Americans there from basically West Texas all the way over to Alabama, and that enhanced area has expanded, now including Dallas. That is problematic because that is going to be, well, a lot of people out there, Delta, watch this today. There's going to be a lot of them there, and they're going to be leaving just when that hail and the winds and the rain and the tornadoes start kicking up later today.
Yeah,
Dale.
stay with us as we will stay on the scene covering the exit from the viewing parties as well. Scotty Withers, thank you very much. I want to go now to Carolyn Clifford. She is with Scripps News Detroit. She is live right now at the famous Cedar Point Amusement Park. That is in Sandusky, Ohio.
Right here in Sandusky, Ohio. Yes, we are. The home of Cedar Point, believe it or not. It's about 2.5 hours from our station. My photographer and I got in the car at like 8 this morning. We didn't have much traffic, and the weather is absolutely beautiful because you never know what you're going to get here in Ohio. We are on top of a pavilion that was actually built last year here at Cedar Point, and we're overlooking some of the rides that are going to be up and running for the guests that you see in the park right now. I think 2,000 people bought tickets to be here on this special day for the solar eclipse here at Cedar Point. Some people paid $100. Some people paid $120. Some VIPs paid $200 to actually walk all the way up the Val Raven ride there to get a high look at the solar eclipse later on, right around 3 o'clock. But families love this. They're here. Their kids can ride. There's a restaurant here. There's a bar here. There's a DJ here. For people who are with me on top of this pavilion, they can actually overlook the beach area. Cedar Point is absolutely amazing, and they had this special opportunity for people to come here and actually see the solar eclipse. We know the last time it happened was 7 years ago, and the next time will be 20 years from now in 2044. And I have someone here with me, Spencer Richardson. Come on over, Spencer. Hi, Spencer is actually from Miami but grew up in Toledo, Ohio. So why was it so important for you to be here at Cedar Point to see the eclipse?
Well, I wanted it to be in totality, but I also wanted to make sure that I was with family. So I came with my mom and my brother, who are pass holders, and they come every year to Cedar Point. So this is a special spot for them, and I just wanted to join them for that.
Which is amazing. Now, have you ever seen a total eclipse before? Because the last one happened 7 years ago.
I was not lucky enough to be in totality during that time, but I did see a partial eclipse. I was in Sanibel, Florida at that time.
Now, I think we're supposed to get like 3 minutes and 45 seconds here, and I think we're going to have 35% cloud cover here in Ohio. So how lucky do you feel? Especially because we're one of, 15 states in the path of totality?
Yeah, I feel so lucky. So many people from my work wanted to go and see the eclipse, and they're spread out from Texas to Indiana to Ohio. And I was just hoping for good weather, and we got it, I believe.
Now, are you equipped with your glasses, and then there's a cover for your iPhone? Are you equipped with everything that you need for today?
I have the glasses. I didn't know there was a cover for iPhone, so I'll have to find one of those. But yeah, the Cedar Point gave us glasses.
Yes, I was told by an expert that you have to cover up the lens of your iPhone. You can destroy your iPhone. And just like my photographer over here, Danny, he has a cover for his big camera for the news as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to get my hands on one of those then.
Last thing, I mean, what do you think when we go into total darkness?
I'm so excited to just to experience it and see if any of the birds act funny, or I don't know. I'm excited to just see what happens.
I know I've been told that all of the birds will act funny, as you say. You know, some birds will start making noise. Other animals will get quiet and sort of scamper away. So I'm excited to see. I don't see very many. Well, no, we see all of the birds over there, so we'll be able to see all of the birds out here if you can see the birds on the beaches. So thank you so much, Spencer. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe I'll get to talk to you after the total eclipse to get your opinion of what it was like.
Perfect.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Wonderful. And if I don't talk to you, have a safe trip back to Miami. I want to show you one more thing. So I was talking to Spencer. Of course, we have the glasses, right? The total solar eclipse glasses. But I also want to show you this. Hopefully, everybody in our audience, if you're looking at the sun with your iPhone, you do have to have a cover for the lens of your iPhone like this. A little lens cover like that so you don't destroy your iPhone. And let me tell you one other thing, because I did get to speak to an expert at Wayne State. He said if you don't have either, you can always use a colander like this and look at it from the ground. So amazing. We're going to watch it here from Cedar Point and have a lot of fun here in Sandusky, Ohio. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
You got it, Carolyn. I just want you to know I got a call from our correspondent in Indiana who said all he got was a lousy T-shirt. You got Sandusky. He wants to know how he can get a job at Scripps News Detroit. Carolyn Clifford for us. Carolyn, as always, thank you very much. And as we head to break, I want to show you what you are seeing right now. That is the image that is coming in right now from NASA. That is in Kerrville, Texas. Also, that winery in High Texas on the scene there as they are looking at what you are seeing. You can see the skies are starting to get a little darker there, but much of that, as you heard Scott Withers say, is because of the cloud cover. But the scene in Mazatlan, Mexico, the images that you saw in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as the moon started to invade the sun's corona, those were coming from Mexico. Those images now headed north across the United States. Stay with us. We'll be back on the scene in 3 minutes.
Every night on Grit, the Wild West comes alive with iconic films and legendary stars. It's high noon in prime time. Saddle up for great movies every night starting at 8/7 Central on Grit.
Make your free TV even better with Tableau.
Switching to Tableau has really been a money saver.
With Tableau, I can record something on my phone, I can pause it, I can go get a drink, come back, I can continue in the family room.
Order today at TableauTV.com.
At Hers, we can help you handle hair loss, get care for your mental health, boss without burning out, and feel your best with simple-to-access personalized care. For hair shedding and thinning, anxiety, burnout, depression, and more. Get started at forhers.com.
Attention all seniors. You can now get up to $50,000 for your funeral and other final expenses, including your credit card debt, with no medical exam, starting at less than $1 a day.
Oh, honey. Your dad and I can't stop talking about this baby that's coming.
We've also been thinking a lot about our future. And no matter what, we want to make sure we aren't leaving you and your family with any of our debts.
Just last week, we read that the price of a funeral can be $8,000 or more.
Wow. Jeff and I definitely would not have the money to pay for that.
And that's just a funeral. But you don't have to worry. We called, and with one phone call, we were eligible for $50,000 for our funeral and final expenses.
Well, that's great, but don't you need to take a medical exam to qualify? You and Mom have some health issues.
No, there's no medical exam, and we were able to get coverage right over the phone.
And our rates can never be increased, our benefits can never be decreased, and our coverage can never be canceled.
I'm so glad you made that call.
Don't leave loved ones with your debt. Call 800-413-0085 now and see if you qualify for up to $50,000 for your funeral and other final expenses, starting at less than $1 a day. There's no medical exam, and you can be approved even if you have pre-existing health conditions. Your rates can never be increased, your benefits can never be decreased, and your coverage can never be canceled. There's no obligation. Call 800-413-0085 now. There's no paperwork, no hidden fees, and no waiting periods. And you can start coverage right over the phone, starting at less than $1 a day. Call 800-413-0085. That's 800-413-0085. 800-413-0085.
It's all about putting in the work. I prepare the same way for the long haul. Tonal gives you all those stats to be able to say, okay, let's do this now. It's all about just training your mind to be as great as you can. Tonal, be your strongest.
As promised, we are on the scene as the eclipse unfolds. These images coming from Mazatlan, Mexico. I want to go now on the scene to our newsroom, Carolyn Brook. One of the things that amazes me is how the world is watching.
Yeah, well, when something impacts the world, you know, people go to social media, and social media goes wild. So here are just a few of the reactions to the eclipse on social media. We've all heard the phrase safety first, so that's where we're starting right now. NOAA sharing this reminder on X, posting in part, quote, "Remember, protect your eyes. Safeguarding your vision is crucial. Let's enjoy the wonder of the cosmos responsibly." And if that message wasn't enough to bring home just how important it is to protect your eyes, how about this? Animals at the Cincinnati Zoo getting geared up for the total solar eclipse. The zoo sharing this video on X of its meerkats wearing oversized safety glasses because, of course, we all need to protect our peepers. That's a quick look at just some of the things that we're following. Del?
Carolyn, we're going to take that image right now that you're seeing on the right-hand side of your screen. We're going to take that and enlarge it because people actually want to see that more than they want to hear me yapping about it. But I'm curious, as you're looking at this, the only word that comes to mind for me is just wow. So an indication, what you're seeing right now, the images coming out of Mexico, and this is what it is going to look like as it really travels up and down from south to north in this case. Normally we say from north to south, but in this case it's going to be from south to north. We have our correspondent station all along what is called the path of totality. The images to your left, Kerrville, Illinois, Indiana to your right. Back in 3 minutes with more on The Scene.
If lawn care were easy, everyone would do it. As well as True Green does it. True Green's online tools help ensure your custom treatment works to deliver a greener, healthier lawn. Guaranteed. It's time to trust your experts at True Green. Go online today.
If you're over the age of 50 and looking to buy life insurance, this message is for you. I'm Kurt Kaiser, and here to tell you about the all-new 50 Plus plan. If you're over the age of 50, it's not too late to get a life insurance policy, even if you have a medical condition or on a fixed income.
If you're over 50 and looking for affordable life insurance, call the toll-free number on your screen now. Just call 800-862-9895.
The 50 Plus plan is a life insurance plan for less. Protect the ones you love today for just pennies a day. Plans can also help to cover funeral and other final expenses like credit card debt and medical bills. Plus, you can't be turned down because of your health. Your acceptance is guaranteed. There's just one simple question in order to qualify. Are you over the age of 50? If you answered yes, don't wait another minute and call now to get the 50 Plus plan.
Just call 800-862-9895. The call is free and there is no obligation to enroll.
There are so many pluses with the 50 Plus plan. There's no paperwork, no health questions, and no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing condition. This plan also comes with a double guarantee. Guaranteed acceptance and a guaranteed rate. That's right, your acceptance is guaranteed and your rate can never go up for any reason. Another plus, your coverage starts immediately. It's a no-brainer. Call now for the 50 Plus plan and give your loved ones the protection they need for just pennies a day.
The call is free and there is no obligation to enroll. Just call 800-862-9895. That's 800-862-9895.
People said I was crazy to do this. I wanted something different, radical, and fun. Born on the beach, San Diego, now rocked with pride worldwide. Welcome to your new favorite shades.
And good afternoon and welcome to On the Scene. In this case, On the Scene of History, our special live coverage of the solar eclipse. I'm Del Walters in Atlanta. Over the next hours, we're going to be tracking the path of this historic celestial event. More than a dozen Scripps News correspondents deployed, set to bring us an unprecedented view. They are stationed from Texas to Niagara Falls. Millions of people all along the path to experience the magic of it all. To your left right now, that is the image that they are seeing in Kerrville, Texas. On the right, as you can see, Pac-Man is just now starting to gobble up the sun in Brookville Lake, Indiana. As you will watch this happen, first you will see the sun almost completely covered, and you will see that ring of fire, the corona. That is the scene that you will see on the left. And then, believe it or not, as the moon shadow starts to exit the sun, it will almost look like a mirror image of what you just saw unfolding right now on the left-hand side of your screen. Michael Schwartz, Scripps News Buffalo, is live for us in Niagara Falls. And Michael, if you are watching the images that we are seeing, this is headed your way.
Absolutely, making its way from Texas all the way here. That partial eclipse is going to begin in just a few minutes here in western New York in the Buffalo, Niagara Falls area. That is when that shadow is starting to make its way from the moon. But we are not going to see anything until that totality at about 3:20. And totality lasts 3 minutes and 38 seconds. That's the length of the Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun. Kind of the theme of today, because where is that sun? It's a little cloudy right now. The sun has been appearing through the clouds throughout the day, but we need that Beatles song to be playing nonstop, because where is the sun? We hope it comes out during that incredible moment, that eclipse. That is only going to last 3 minutes, 38 seconds. Now, what people are still being told here, as the crowds are actually smaller than anticipated, people made the drive up to Maine, Vermont to really see those clear skies, but still, you have to wear your glasses throughout. So the rules don't change, but unfortunately, the views could. Niagara Falls, obviously, behind me. People are taking in the view, but throughout the different points, Terrapin Point just below me, and the huge horseshoe that makes up Niagara Falls, there's people all over there that have come from all over the country, all over the world. I've heard from Austria, Germany, Australia coming to Western New York, but people have also changed their plans on the fly to make sure they could see that eclipse. It hasn't happened here in Western New York since 1925. It won't happen here, that total solar eclipse, for another 120 years. But hey, like we say in Buffalo, when it's kickoff, we just don't know what's going to happen with those skies. No snow, though, here. No snow.
Hey, Michael, stand by, because I got Mexico on the line right now.